Anyone who has paid somewhat attention to the competitive Pokemon scene probably knows who Andre Scuball is. If you don't, this is our latest Pokemon World Champion, the guy who won the 2022 Pokemon World Championship with Flying Pikachu, Arceus, and Decidueye, like Crobat and a bunch of others, so the deck was insane. And unfortunately, he couldn't make it out to the Peoria Regionals, which was the regionals right after Worlds. So it was the last one of the Astral Radiance format and right before the Lost Origin format. And so, you know, he posted his list on what he was going to play. Zooming closer, and it's a Hisuian Samurott deck, which is a little bit interesting because a lot of people have disregarded this deck. They don't think this deck is strong at all. In fact, I've met so many people that just flat out hate the deck. I've always kind of wondered why, because right before Palkia came out, and I forget what set it was, I think it was like Time Gazer and Space Jungler, and Battle Region, Hisuian Samurott was the best deck in the Japanese format. Obviously that didn't translate over super well into our format because we got both Battle Region and the two Dialga Palkia sets at the same time in our Astral Radiance set, which kind of didn't leave a whole lot of room for Hisuian Samurott to grow. But, I mean, the deck is very potent, at least in my opinion. So this is Scuball's list, and this is my list. I have taken out a Choice Belt in order to run a second Absol. Instead of running two Crobats, I'm running Lumineon. Overall, I just love Lumineon a lot more. It's a lot more flexible. And the main thing about this deck is that you have very efficient damage for very cheap energy costs. You only need 2 energy, which can be accelerated with the Dark Patch. And, you know, if you have a Choice Belt, you're hitting 250 plus whatever damage you already have on there. You know, you have the Zigzagoons, which can work with the Scoop Nets to bump your damage up even more. So you go from Mooncleave Star plus your attack, plus 2 Zigzagoon pins, and that's 280 damage. So you have a lot of ways of actually finding math. And one of the cards I've been genuinely surprised with is Absol. Just really good into trading into lower HP Pokemon, just forcing out these awkward trades from the opponent. Or you can do Swirling Disaster, which sets up the entire board state to be hit by Samurott. Which seems a little slow, but I've seen it work in a surprising fashion. So, yeah, I actually really like Hisuian Samurott. It was one of the decks I was super hyped coming into the Astral Radiance format, but I didn't really have the tools to experiment with it, and, well, I finally got around to it. And I hope you guys enjoy the gameplay as well. So, getting started with the very first game here. I believe this is like Samurott versus Arceus. I got so many games in this deck. This is just like one of my favorite decks to just go out there and play. Almost like wanting to build it in person with just how much I casually enjoy it. You know, I like testing Lost Box Urshifu because I'm still working on that deck, but that deck requires like all my focus, where this deck doesn't. And it's not to say the deck isn't like entirely skillful, as you know, there's still a lot of thinking, but just like, oh. Anyways, yeah. So going first is also a huge plus. It just allows me to pick off V's super easily between like a Zig Pin or Boss's Orders plus the V-Star attack. And between the Marnie and the Bibarel in my hand, I think we're in a pretty good spot. We did have to toss Lumineon, which is a little bit sketchy, but it's probably fine. I should also mention that the list that I showed at the beginning isn't going to be the same list I'm running throughout the entire video. In fact, I'm pretty sure there's only one game where I actually have double Absol in the list. I mean, it's not needed, but I really like having double Absol. Is to get double Air Balloons out, and we're pretty much gonna go start swinging as long as we can find that energy. Don't know whether a Crobat or Bibarel first is the correct order, so I'm just gonna go ahead and set everything up. He also does not put down another V, so that just makes getting this kill so much easier. Very nice for us. As we just go ahead and take the knockback here. And with the boss in our hand, we don't have a boss in our hand. Okay. I was about to say, I thought we had a boss, but yeah, we don't have the boss in our hands, but we can still dig for it. We got a lot of tools to lower our hand size. The Samurott VSTAR goes into play. We can evo to Bibarel. Like, we are in a perfectly good spot right now. And to take another 2 prizes, or like if he doesn't put anything down, then he's just gonna be way too slow to catch up ever. Yeah, so we see Shifu come down, Rapid Strike Energy, really just looking to dig for that KO option as we get 2 Dark Patches. Feel like the line is pretty simple here, just play out cards, try to draw a bunch, get another Bibarel, it seems good. There's a lot of drawing things of the Bibarel stuff. It's something I didn't give enough credit for, is that when you're playing a Bibarel deck, you have to think about like what you're drawing all the time. And the ways you draw them, so you know like whether you're supposed to research or Bibarel first, or Crobat and Bibarel, something like that, like minor ordering things. I also get rid of the V-Star there, because I'm pretty sure at this point, if I just hit boss's orders, I win. So I don't really mind getting rid of it. Yeah, we just go ahead and use the pin there, and take it out. Nice and simple. Now we only need 2 more prizes, which I feel like we can find super easily. Granted, it's hard for us to kill a V-Star super easily, and the VMAX is going to be even harder. But like, in this scenario, it's like, well, I got another free prize here, and he just goes ahead and scoops. Moving on to Samurott vs. Giratina. I got so much footage against like every deck except for Palkia. The Palkias just like refuse to show up on the ladder, and when they do, I just don't have great opening hands, or they forfeit like turn 1. So I never have like Palkia footage. I feel like I should be like more responsible and get Palkia footage, because like, oh, it's, you know, arguably the best deck in the format, right? So clearly, you know, it's good enough your deck does well into it, and at least get tested against it. But no one wants to play Palkia, man. Anyways, we are up against like Lost Fox Giratina here. It's always a little bit of a toss-up between like what they're playing in the early game, but I see Radiant Greninja, and usually that's a sign that it's Giratina and not their not the single prize version. Only because the single prize version is totally reliant on Charizard, and those variants tend to like, what's the word? Yeah, those variants need Charizard because they need the burst damage, where the like Giratina versions don't need the Charizard because the Giratina is already enough of a wall breaker, so they might as well just have the draw and maybe the potential to snipe the board. Anyways, that's also one of the slightly scary things about this list, is that there's no protection to, like, you don't run a Manaphy. You don't actually have the space to run it. You just sort of gotta hope that they don't, like, turn to Radiant Greninja you and take out, like, 2 Bidoofs, right? Or you stagger it out in some way. But that's the super tricky part. Once again, no one's played Palkia, so I don't have any Palkia practice, unfortunately. Just dig it a little further, attach both here, Dark Patch onto it, and, you know, I'm wondering if I should put down Lumineon so I can go ahead and grab a research, just in case Path to Defeat comes down. But I was like, he's a Radiant Greninja version, he's probably not running that. That'd be my guess. More likely the Sinnoh choice is probably, it's either like Velocity or Training Court. I just presume it's Training Court because people like positive effects, they don't really like negative effects. And yeah, he puts out Giratina, so it's like, okay, we're good. We can take down Giratina V-Stars. It requires us to have a lot of tools. Here, I'm like, okay, we'll just send him back out. I have Air Balloon. It doesn't feel like he's gonna get attacked against me this turn. If he does, it's only gonna be the career merit, basically. I feel like at least it's only gonna be the career merit. If not, I guess he could shred me, but I feel like that puts him in a really, really dangerous position. Also, it just sucks a little that our Samurott has an Air Balloon instead of a Choice Belt. It's not like the end of the world, but it's not the best thing. I go ahead and grab Absol because I kind of wanted to see if I could use the single prize or dispatch him. This is like a very beginning into the playtime where I'm trying to still figure out like parts of the deck. Here, I'm like really, really greedy. Oh, no, I'm not. but there's a part of me that really wants to take like a multi-prize turn with the Hisuian Samurott, using like Goon Pains or Absol or the V-Star ability. It's just like, I want to do so much more, but the deck doesn't lead itself to very clip-worthy content, which is a little bit unfortunate, because like, that's sort of been my whole deal so far. Anyways, I don't really have the V-Star yet, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put damage on everything. I know he runs Scoop Up Nets, and I believe I check it soon. I don't know how many Scoop Up Nets he's used. I sort of lost track just watching. I wasn't paying attention. But you know, Absol sets up the board state to just take a lot of damage everywhere. So it's really nice. Currently, I believe one Giratina has 20 damage on it, so if we put one more Goon Pain on it, it's at 30 damage, and then 230 or 250 from the Samurott V-Star will just knock it out. So setting ourselves up to have pretty good numbers here. Also, Mirage Gate whiffs, so oops. I don't know if that was intentional or not. I'm gonna presume it was, because I feel like there's no way you could have gone through all your energy. Though P is in single digits, I guess. Yeah, maybe he just like really needs an ordinary rod. Oops. That's like one of the biggest things about like new Lost Zone players, especially like one of the kids I've been helping coach, just little, is that they tend to burn their energy so quickly. It's rough. He's about to burn 2 more energy here if he goes for Lost Impact. He already played Colress, so this is a huge stuff for me. He used Lost Impact on my Absol here, and that's just solid. Unfortunately, he still does have 2 energies on, and probably 10 cards in the Lost Zone. But thankfully here, oh no, I get like super greedy. I forget that I'm supposed to pin the active, so I can try to find the KO. I get like extremely lucky here because I find both Quick Ball and Scoop Up Net, which allow me to like scam myself out of this position. But don't do what I'm doing. I'm like really trying to be like, oh, but if I use my V-Star attack on the Comfy, I can get a kill here. Just like the most cheesiest of fucking setups. I'm like super close to it too. That's like the sad part, because like I really just want that clip that I can upload and be like, oh, you're just my teaser for tomorrow's video. Also, I finally hit the Samurott V-Star. I was digging for this for the longest time. Such a pain in the ass. Go ahead and just grab the other one out too, because, you know, at this point, why not? And we just go ahead and pop it. I believe I'm one hit off from killing the Comfy too. Yeah. But he's so low on energy, he needs like an ordinary rod. You get the Mirage Gate out, but only for 1 energy, so it won't attach it. He just forfeits. That's what happens when you don't manage your energy properly in that matchup. Also, like, you know, Absol set me up pretty well. I had a multi-prize turn coming up if I ever hit another Scoop Up Net. Just saying, situation's kinda good for me. Here, we got a lot of Pokemon to start with. It's like, it's weird, because I have this weird reaction to not want to put a V Pokemon out in the front, only because I'm still traumatized by like special energy Mew builds. I hate when Mew goes second and they just stomp me at the Meloetta, but thankfully they've pretty much all moved away from Fusion Strike energy, for now. But, yeah. Anyways, I believe this is one of those games where I get like super greedy. I was like, I'm gonna like beat the shit out of this Comfy. I'm gonna drop 3 damage counters on it, and then I'm gonna evolve, and then I'm gonna win. I decided to just hold the Quick Ball here. It's probably gonna be for a Crobat, but, you know, I might want the Scoop Net and the energy in my hand, just so I can attach it and reuse the Scoop Net, obviously, because that puts a 3rd damage counter on it, and the V-Star kills the Comfy. But like I said, I'm like so greedy. I've been fishing for any sort of like multi-prize clip at all, and it's just like wasting damage counters. So don't do what I'm doing. You can play a lot more reserved with your Zigzagoons, and I think setting up those opportunities is not an impossible thing, right? I believe you can very much well do it, but you just have to sit. There's no reason to rush into it. Most of these decks don't play like Marnie, for example, and even if they do have Marnie, they are most definitely trying to play Chorus in the early game first. So just being more patient is way better. Anyways, I get rid of the Dark Energy because I'm still super greedy. It's like, I need this Scoop Up Net. I think this time it's a little bit more reasonable. Okay, no, I'm not reasonable at all. What am I doing? So now I have to hit the last 2 remaining Scoop Up Nets to kill the Comfey with the V-Star power. Like, this is so absurd. Please don't do this. I'm such a bad influence. You really should be saving those Zigzagoons so you can take out the Greninja and the Raikous easier. I believe Raikou has 130 HP as well. Anyways, yeah, it's just like, don't do that. It's so unnecessary. But I do have a pretty good start outside of wasting all my resources like this, as I'm just gonna go ahead and get the attack going. Overkill the Comfey by so much, and I'm pretty much in a really good position right now. I forget what his lost count is. I think he's in Mirage Gate territory now, but even then, I still think I'm in a fine position because I don't know. I just feel like the Raikou doesn't get damaged out fast enough. It really is primed as like an Urshifu style deck without the bulk of Urshifu. And a lot more setup too. Like Urshifu can always get going by turn 2. With Raikou, it's not as like well placed. Anyways, do I boss something here or do I just take a knockout? Choose to boss up Raikou just because. Do I have a reason? Just because I want to delay his chances of actually getting an attack out. Oh, also, I just straight up kill it. It's 110 HP. My bad. When I like watch these videos back, I'm watching it from my video editor after I like put it in, and then I just put the commentary in after. So everything's like a little itsy bit tiny for me on the screen. And so like, there's certain details that I just can't read from here. Not the most efficient way to do post commentary, but I mean, it's just the way that I like to do it. It allows me to look at the timestamps and look at what the clips are called, so I can be a little bit more prepared in the future. Anyways, yeah, taking the Raikou is fine there because it prevents him from attacking. It really, I think I'm just trying to hold on to this Bibarel for as long as I can. He hits an attack on me, which is a little unfortunate. I think I just go ahead and get another swing because ultimately, what I've seen so far is that there's no attackers in the deck that can actually like knock me out or anything. I mean, there could be a Snorlax in there, but I haven't seen it, so I'm just gonna refuse to believe it exists for now. One of the things I gotta look out for is that, you know, I have a damaged Samurott now, and I have a Crobat there, and the Crobat is vulnerable, so I gotta watch out for what other Pokemon are leading out. I have 2 Scoop Up Nets left, though, so ultimately, I'm in a decent position. Unironically, despite trying to burn my Scoop Up Nets like super early and being hella greedy, I still have just enough to bail me out of this scenario, which, I gotta be real, I wish I could say I planned for, but I didn't. Because this'll, well, you'll just see. I make a pretty good play later. Anyways, he's gonna boss his orders up my Crobat, it seems. That's fine. I'm pretty much gonna let Crobat be taken down, just because I know that it's gonna be targeted anyways. I can't really do much against the spread deck. So now I just drop my V-Star power on here. It means that I will have a harder time killing the Greninja because I don't have the extra pains available without having to put down the Zigzagoon again. But I'm just determined that it'll probably be fine. Because I haven't seen a Water Energy yet, so I don't believe that, you know, the Greninja will be attacking. And why would you? Because the Raikou sort of does the same thing, but just a little bit better. Anyways, we're taking out both Crobat and the Hisuian Samurott on the bench. Put some damage there. And the sports thing is fine by me because I have 2 more prizes, and I know that he has a really hard time ever getting to a KO on the Samurott here. So what do? I just yoink the Zigzagoons out of there. I can still leave the Bibarel because I haven't seen. Actually, I'm like thinking about it. I was like, oh, do I want to leave Bibarel? I was like, yeah, it's already damaged. It's like they have 2 prizes left, so unless they have an Echoing Horde, like even if they did. It's still more HP than anything else, so even if they did, it'd be really hard for them to find lethal here. They'd have to, like, brick me. Like, Lost Sweeper, Boss's Orders, Raikou type of shit. Or not even Raikou, it'd have to be Sableye, because, Raikou would allow the Samurott to come back up. So yeah, just not a good position for my opponent overall. And I believe we get a concede here because he just really. Oh no. I think I get the kill. Yeah, he concedes, never mind. That's how you stop yourself from losing to, like, I guess, like, Raikou or Sableye. You just gotta run the scoop nuts. And don't be, like, super, like, gun-ho about it early on, because you don't really need to. If the situation arises for it, you can build up the tools. They very rarely ever disrupt your hand to the point where it's unsolvable. And even then, you can try to set up that scenario, like, pre-Rock Sand, because it's mostly all they run. Anyways, I start with the Absol here. It's like, oh, what is this? I go ahead and put damage on Mewtwo, because killing Mewtwo would be pretty good here, I think. I believe I'm contemplating what the Ultra Ball is going to be used for. I regret not getting rid of Bibarel, but I also regret not looking into my deck a little bit further. This is like one of my biggest gripes with me as a player, is that sometimes I just like get too lazy and don't do that. And then later I'm like, oh, where's my core? Where's my one-up switch I need? You know, just things like that. Anyways, I'm still confused on what he's playing. I just think it's Mewtwo at this point. And I think he drops Zoroark. It's like, oh, okay. Whatever. And he hits the, I forget what's called, like, Lunar Dance, something like that. That allows him to accelerate energies. I also believe this is one of the games where he chose to go second instead of first, so I was just a little bit caught off guard. Now, unfortunately, despite hitting for weakness, I still need a pain against the Cresselia to knock it out. And I just got rid of my... what's it called? What's her name? I just got rid of my other Zigzagoon, so I'm really entirely reliant on just basically finding a Goon Pain here. Or I have to just damage it and then do something later. Or I don't play a support yet and I just grab Boss's Orders and I kill the Mewtwo. That works too, I forgot about that. Oops, yeah. But now Mewtwo's out of the picture. I'm pretty sure Mewtwo never comes down again. It's basically like, oh, this is a Little Rock, Bibarel, Cresselia Mewtwo deck, which is probably too much for one deck. I don't usually like including deck lists like this, but my unbridled rage against Little Rock, you know, forced me to put it here. Also, he does like 0 damage to my Absol here, which is so funny. Just no damage on the field right now. Sick. I just go ahead and Marnie. I know my opponent's hand is sort of relatively low, but they have a Bibarel anyway, so they always have outs to certain things here, I feel like. Bibarel a bit more, and, you know, I just set myself up. Fortunately, gonna have to use the V-Star on the Cresselia here, just so I can get the knockout. I could've, like, maybe saved it for later, but I just feel like getting the tempo now is so much more worth it. And, like, Absol's already gotten three prizes so far, so I think I'm in a really, really good position. Because if he does knock out a Pokemon, it's my one prizer, and then I still got so much more game to play, right? And then you just Marnie me, so he can't boss me. I'm like low-key just hoping he breaks, because I think all Little Rock players deserve hell, but details. Also, this is one of the reasons why I really like Absol. We've already seen the first attack and the second attack put in some work. Granted, the second attack has put in work against, like, wherever the hell this deck is supposed to be, but it's been so nice to just attack on the, like, different prize spectrum. Having 1 and 2 prizers is super helpful. I really like decks that use, like, 1, 2, and 3 prizers, but Samurott isn't really the deck to do that for. Maybe you can slide in, like, a Crobat VMAX, but it just seems a little unnecessary. I also Marty away I quick ball away the research, and just because I know that I'm gonna barrel, and I'd rather just Marty away his hand, keep him down, keep him on his toes, stuff like that. At least by this point, for the Samurotts, the nice part about them is that I don't need to put damage on anything in the game anymore. I put damage on the barrel, that's like all that's needed. And now it's entirely up to him to win the game here, as I am pretty much perfectly set up to do anything I want. Even if he, like, played a surprise Roxanne, I have Bibarel to get me out of this situation. And right now I have Ultra Ball in the hand to grab the other Samurott. So everything is looking peachy clean for me. Let's see, it finally brings out the Righty Greninja. This is, like, such a weird list. It's like, why is there's so much in this list that's just overall hampering the consistency. I think if it was just straight Little Rock, he would have had a way better chance of winning. But I believe he even misses the KO out here too, or he barely gets it against me. Even if he does, he's wasted all of his resources, so he doesn't have the option for like a huge amount of bursts later, which is perfectly fine by me. Like I said, fuck Zoroark. Scoop Net. Yeah, I think he barely gets it. It's like 30 plus 30x for each one. That's also on. Yeah, so barely squeezes it out with 8 energies. So that'd be 30 times 9. And I just go ahead and attach it to the Crobat because the Crobat's also going to get a kill on pretty much everything that's relevant. And I fetch out my V-Star, so we are good to go. I think I don't know if I let the Pokestop rip. It doesn't really matter, but I don't. But I get rid of it, which, once again, just slows down the opponent even more. Wish that could have been a Marnie, because, once again, I just like limiting my opponent's resources in this matchup where all I need is for them to slow the hell down. And at this point, I'm pretty much guaranteed to win. He can't kill multiple Pokemon, and I have 2 attackers set up. I don't know if I have access to a boss by this point. There's not much left of my deck anyway, so... Oh, well, I get Marnie, and we get to see... Yeah, there was another boss in there. So I can just pick and choose a target, in case if you did, like, give me something I could KO with the Crobat. Which, is very unlikely, because Lumineon is also weak to, Dark as well. We'll just go ahead and get another one. So, yeah, Absol carried his weight, again, in that matchup. Absol's, like, one of the most surprising cards of this. When I first saw it, I was like, oh, okay. This card is in here, I guess. I never thought I'd use it because I'm a heavily tempo-oriented player, where I feel like if you're not getting the attack done and you're trying to like set stuff up, you're just gonna lose, at least in this day and age. Anyways, I completely forget what this is against, and my bar at the bottom is a little bit too small to see. So, oh, it's Mew. Okay. This is like super easy. Like, it's just easy on the basis that, yeah, I am playing a Dark-type Pokemon, how about you? And, you know, they sort of... here's the thing about the double colors, or double turbo energy builds, is that they don't get to rely on Meloetta anymore. Which sucks for them, like, so much. And also just not having Fusion Strike energy sucks in them for general, because now they are completely vulnerable to all my pains, the Zigzagoons and the Hisuian V-STAR. It's just like, what are you doing? Anyways, he bosses orders up my Bibarel, so now I have to find a Air Balloon. I think in this scenario, I need a Bibarel first, then a research. I'll see what I end up doing. I don't remember this match too well. Put down another Samurott, and I go ahead and research first. I suppose it's fine, because I believe most of the time I should be able to play my hand down. I just put a damage counter here, because I'll be able to knock it out. I put some damage on there. Refresh the Mew because there's this small bug going on right now. I also Crobat first because I'm guaranteed to get more value out of the Crobat always. Where with like Bibarel, or with Bibarel, I like draw a card and then it becomes unplayable. Unfortunately, we don't hit an Air Balloon here, which is really bad because it means I can lose my Bibarel here. Due to like not having an Air Balloon, and he ends up finding a way out. So not fun. But at least I have one Samurott set up. I don't have the V-Star, which is also tricky. Like, that part is a little frustrating. And he has a full board out now. Once again, I'm pretty sure this is a double turbo energy build because we see the Lost City, and I don't see a Meloetta on the field. They've also seemed to drop the Oricorio, which I suppose is fine because I can't see any decks that, like, really are pushing that envelope against Mew right now, that it needs the Oricorio. And he is just going to probably Technoblast, get the knockout here. Eventually, one Mew's done playing Solitaire. And he actually bosses orders up my Samurott, which is tricky. Oh, this is bad. I don't remember what happens in this game now. Maybe he misses the KO. Has he hit a Power Tablet yet? I don't see any modifiers up, so... Okay, no, he does. Never mind. Oh, right, he has the Choice Belt. Done. Anyways, this isn't fun, but at least I have Dark Patch. I have basically all the tools I need right now. I just need to find the V-Star, which is good. I can Goomping the active, so now most of the Mews have damage on them. Still one more Mew that does it, but it's not possible. I have my V-Star ability still. I just go ahead and Marnie, get his hand down, and I find the Ultra Ball. I definitely need to keep the boss, because the boss can allow me to maybe get another 3 prize turn. The prize, like, trade here is just so disadvantaged for him. I also put down another Samurott here, just because, like, you know, it's probably the best attacker. Also probably does fine, because 1 pin, you do 150, but you also need the belt. Like, it's nice, but there's the caveat that you do have to have the belt on you. And we've already lost 1, and I don't remember if I checked the deck for the second one. This might have been one of my earlier games, too, where I didn't exactly know how good Absol was. It is, yeah, Mew just forfeits, because, like, what are they gonna do? They evolve, and they're gonna get knocked out. It's not like they can attack without evolving. They aren't Fusion Strike Energy. Then here's, like, this is, like, one of the funnier matchups that I've encountered. It's Samurott versus Zoroark, because they put damage on everything themselves already, so, you know, this should be good. I don't have to do anything. I could possibly just, like, scam prizes with my own pains, plus the Game Jump Hog. Like, it's just literally perfect for me. I do see a Crobat, so I don't actually know what I'm fighting against yet. And I'm still, like, trying to find the tools. At this point, I've become a little bit more disciplined. I've realized, yeah, I can't always go for the clip. I'm still looking through my deck and see what I have, like, my support accounts and the ratios of my Pokemon. Like, you don't want to get rid of a V-Star if you only have, like, 1 V-Star left. I mean, you can, but it's just tragic. I go ahead and go for the Crobat because it's going to refresh my hand this early game while I'm still trying to get set up. And it's unfortunate because we didn't hit an attachment here. And that is the tricky part because I would have loved an attachment. We could possibly miss the KO next turn, which is tragic. That's one of the big things about this deck, is that this deck is so easy to set up. I see Diancie, so I'm immediately starting to think that it's probably Zoroark. We do hit the Dark Patch and the Dark Energy, but we don't have a way of discarding it yet. And I see Game Jump Hog out, like, yeah, Zoroark. As it comes down here. So, getting the KOs against Zoroark is, like, really easy. Just because, like I said, they put damage on everything themselves. But also, like, I can entirely disrupt their own plans. I go ahead and I think it's just research this whole hand away. It's unfortunate to get rid of both a Scoop Net and a Dark Patch, but it's what needs to be done. And then I put the Choice Belt on the active. I'm questioning myself a little bit on why I did this. I also just go ahead and put the extra damage counter on the Zoroark. It means when it evolves, it'll have 240 HP. I believe I just, like, am so used to doing, like, regular math on regular V-Stars. Forget that, like, some of them have 270, like Samurott and Zoroark. Oh no, I did put an Air Balloon on it. I'm so dumb. Oh, here's what happened. Now I remember this game. I hate this game so much. Why did I do this? I evolved the active one, and I feel like such a dumbass. This is a complete and utter throw by me. Just, I had it. I had the kill. Granted, now I could, like, maybe force something up. It's like, I guess I'll start attaching here. I'll research this away. This is so painful. Thankfully right now he doesn't have enough damage counters on the field right now to get a KO against anything, and he has 0 cards in hand. He has 1 card in hand, it just passes. So not a fun situation. I go ahead and finally get my Samurott down to attack after completely utterly choking. But yeah, not fun stuff, I will say. And I think my opponent is still nope, he got out. But, you know, Temple of Sinnoh is still in play, so he has to work around that. This is probably, like, one of Zoroark's worst matchups, only because it's such a pain in the ass for him to try to work through anything. I believe the correct play for him, by the way, right now is the Void Return to the Gengar. I feel like people don't sacrifice their Gengars often enough in this matchup, because, like, Gengar is easily resummonable. Like, is there anything in the game that stops it from being resummoned? Oh yeah, and he puts the energy on here. It's like, this is such a fucking goofball game where none of the players know how to play the game correctly. Temple of Sinnoh is still in play, so no Game Drop Bog value there for him. And we're just, once again, questioning everything that's happening in this board state right now. At least he has cards in hand. As we see a damage pump, yeah, we're probably gonna fix the damage on everything. Sick. I have a boss's orders in hand, which is like perfect. Because that, oh, he actually does hit it. Neat. I believe he gets a KO here. Or he doesn't, because Temple of Sinnoh is still play. Easy. Finally, like, I'm thinking about, like, whether or not I'm supposed to Ultra Ball here for the other Samurott. And I really should've. I don't need the Zigzagoon or the Absol anymore. Everything's pinned on this field. And I don't think there's any way I'm ever going to scam a prize out. So I really should have Ultra Ball and got rid of them just in case the top deck's Marnie or even Roxanne this turn starts giving me shit. This is such a messed up game. Here, I just boss's orders one of these. Take this one out, I guess. I don't know why I chose this one. Maybe because I didn't have the damage to take out the other one, but I don't know. It feels like misplays all around. I could have also just, like, retreated and used the Choice Belt to kill that one. But here we are. Marnie's me. Taking the V-Star play. I did. Thank God. That would have been awful. Game Chop Bog, and he's finally gonna be able to play the game. I really don't like Zoroark because it just puts itself into these unfortunate situations. Like, sometimes you can high roll the damage, but do you need that damage? Like, do you need to be hitting for 300 damage on turn 2? It's a little bit unnecessary, right? And then if you don't, like, what else are you doing through the rest of the game? You have decent wall breaking potential, but you need the Luch to kill the VMAXs, and what else? I don't know, I just really don't like Zoroark in this metagame. I think Zoroark is a very, very poor deck. I'm still probably going to make a video on it because I have all the pieces for it, but details. This is our final game. Yeah, I mean, this deck is a lot of fun. It's very easy to pilot too. Well, sort of easy to pilot. As long as you're not like a greedy bastard who keeps on trying to flex by taking multiple prizes at once, like, you'll be fine. And it's against Shadow Rider, so I think this is like one of those matchups where like Absol goes ham. This is like when I started to realize how good Absol was. I think I actually have 2 of them in the deck by this point. Yeah, I have 2 now. Because I've realized I really liked Absol. But we sort of got a whole field established here. We got a research for next turn. I got an Ultra Ball plus a discard for like a Bibarel or something else. So I'm like really set up. Sucks that we're gonna get rid of a V-Star if we do Ultra Ball here, but it's fine. And we also have a Goop Team on the active army, so we are good sailing. The only thing that we need left is an Air Balloon here, which is why I believe I go for the Ultra Ball to Bibarel, just so I can grab the Air Balloon. Or like, have a higher chance of finding the Air Balloon between the Bibarel draw and the research. That'd be my thought process. Either that or go for Crobat. I don't remember which one. Shadow Mist doesn't really affect me because I'm not affected by that whatsoever. Get rid of these 2, grab a Bibarel or a Crobat. I grab Bibarel. I say Lumineon slot in the deck, looking to see like what else I got. Cool. And yeah, I go ahead Bibarel first. I've sort of understood ordering a lot better now that I've actually like played the deck. And we just go ahead and quick ball here. I believe we get the Crobat out now. I'm really digging for that Air Balloon here, because that'll really allow me to set up. But I also haven't hit a single energy yet, which is a little bit tragic. I mean, the one energy I have is on the Absol. I'm just thinking about what to do here. I'm thinking about whether the research is better or the Marnie. And, you know, I'm just burning through cards. I'm still thinking. I just go ahead and research anyways. Finally find the Air Balloon and the switch into the Absol. And this is big chillin' right now. You know, he doesn't have a Shadow Rider set up. The turn is already passed for him, so you can't Cresselia and set himself up super nicely. I don't have a boss in hand, which is a little bit tragic. Also, I believe... I don't know what that sound was. I believe I got rid of a Bibarel earlier, which does suck. It is unfortunate, but we will live. He bosses up the Crobat in an attempt to stall. A little surprised he didn't boss up the Bidoof if he was going to boss up anything, but I guess it plays around Scoop Up Net. And we're just going to go ahead and pitifully charge up 1 energy here. Yeah? Puppies. Puppy, you good? Nice cameo from the lab monsters over there. As we're just finishing this up. I love my dogs, but they are a mess at times. I'm already like 36 minutes into the recording. It's fine. We'll be fine. We'll be okay. I have to put the damage counters on here because I don't really need the extra damage so far. He hasn't put down another Shadow Cali, so it's kind of hard for me to feel like he's gonna get it down in his situation. And I have the Goon in my hand. Well, I guess the Goon doesn't matter. What I really need is to Scoop Up Net so I can take the Bidoof or the Zigzagoon out of play. Articuno isn't charged up. I'm just like in a super solid spot right now. I don't need anything else in my life. Thinking about what to do here. Just do that. Boss's order or something? No, we just Marnie. Because I'm looking for like specific cards that can be out of this situation. I just do that, get rid of this, good pain here. And do I take the barrel draw? Or did I use it already? I can't remember now. I think I forgot the barrel draw. I'm like, oops, should have done that. Well, I still could have drawn a card. And we're in like such a good position right now. I don't think my opponent can literally do anything to get himself out of here. As the VMAX comes down, and is that it? Did I win this entire game on the back of Absol? I don't remember now. Maybe that's another way to get an energy on. I don't remember at this point. Yeah. Okay. So I do like, I don't have any more damage that is super meaningful. I can Scoop Net the Zigzagoon here and take one more. And I believe if I hit another Scoop Net, it's a game, but I don't. I also hit the Choice Belt too, so yeah, he's just dead from basically everything. I almost wanted to BM and try to get a kill with the Zigzagoon after this, but I mean, there's just nothing left for him to do. Anyways, that's pretty much the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I really like this deck. I think this deck is incredibly underrated right now. And if you guys have any recommendations for decks for me to play, I know someone's telling me to play Lost Box. I'm like trying to work on something. I have something brewed up in the back. But if you have any more recommendations, just shoot them and I'll give them a shot. Anyways, appreciate your guys' time, and I'll see you guys later.